The first time she died, people cried. The second time, they questioned if she'd ever been alive at all. This is the story of a woman who died not once, but twice. And why her greatest crime wasn't fraud, or deception, but being too broken to live as herself. Her name is Angela Collins. And this is how she disappeared from the world. And came back with scars that no new identity could hide. Angela Collins. Growing up. Angela Collins was born in 1975 in Duluth, Minnesota. A town caught between the cold of Lake Superior and the warmth of a tight-knit, conservative community. She was a gifted child, bright, sensitive, musical. But not all gifts are blessings. Angela felt things deeply. Too deeply. Her mother, Margaret, struggled with alcohol. Her father was largely absent. At school, Angela was the quiet one. The one who read under the bleachers. She got straight A's. She didn't make waves. But inside, she was drowning. At 17, she attempted suicide for the first time. It would not be the last. Becoming someone else. In her 20s, Angela spiraled. A toxic marriage. A miscarriage. Hospital stays. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder at 26, then misdiagnosed with borderline personality disorder, then re-diagnosed with PTSD. No one quite knew how to help her. Least of all Angela herself. By 2003, she'd lost her job. Was couch surfing. Living in her car. Then one night in early 2004, everything changed. A car crash. A fire. A suicide note taped to the dashboard. Dental records were inconclusive. The body was too burned to identify. Police called it a suicide. The case closed. Angela Collins was declared dead. But in truth, she had boarded a Greyhound bus headed south. The life she made. For the next 3 years, Angela lived under the name Kate Morrison. She landed in Thailand. Broke. Alone. But for the first time, free. She taught English under the table. Lived in a room above a noodle shop. Her life became unrecognizably small. But in that smallness, there was peace. She adopted stray cats. She wrote poetry. She sent anonymous donations to a shelter in Minnesota. Some nights, she'd wake up in tears. Other nights, she danced barefoot in the rain. But secrets, like bodies, never stay buried forever. In 2007, a Canadian tourist recognized her from a viral newspaper story. Dead woman spotted abroad? Authorities confirmed it. Angela Collins was alive. She was extradited. Brought back in handcuffs. And then came the media storm. The resurrection that didn't heal. America wanted answers. Was it insurance fraud? A mental breakdown? An elaborate hoax? Angela said nothing. But her silence spoke volumes. Psychiatrists described her as intellectually intact, emotionally fractured. In court, she appeared childlike. Apologetic. Blank. She was sentenced to psychiatric care. No prison. No probation. For 18 months, she underwent intensive therapy. For the first time, she received consistent medication. She gained weight. Wrote in journals. Said things like, "I wish I'd never been born, but I'm trying to make peace with being here now." And for a while, it looked like Angela might finally choose life. In 2011, she was released. And the world moved on. But not Angela. The second death. Angela moved to Phoenix. Started over again. This time, she didn't change her name. She got a job as a hospice aide, caring for people dying the death she'd once faked. Co-workers described her as gentle, withdrawn, reliable. No one knew her past. She had a small apartment, a fish tank, a routine. And then, in 2018, it happened again. Angela told co-workers she had terminal lymphoma. She began documenting her treatment, shaved her head, grew pale. Tears on Facebook Live. Heartfelt farewells. A GoFundMe raised thousands. Then, silence. Obituary. Memorial. Ashes scattered in Sedona. But the ashes were from a cremated cat. And Angela Collins? She was alive. In Mexico. The man who knew. Jason Herrick had met Angela through his father, a hospice patient. They'd talked long after hours. Shared books. Stories. Secrets. When Angela died, Jason grieved. But something didn't sit right. A message sent from her account, after her funeral. A sunset photo geotagged to Oaxaca. Jason hired a private investigator. 3 weeks later, Angela was spotted working in a cafe under yet another name, Claire Brenner. Jason didn't press charges. He just wanted answers. Angela wrote him a letter. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I just didn't know how to stay alive without being someone else. The real sentence. Angela was arrested. Again. This time, she faced federal charges. Wire fraud. Identity theft. Falsifying death. She was sentenced to 5 years in a federal psychiatric facility. She was 44. No aliases. No makeup. No lies. Inside, she began to heal, truly. Daily therapy. Group sessions. Mood stabilizers. She reconnected with her sister. She began painting self-portraits of a woman slowly emerging from shadow. Angela finally stopped running. Life after death, again. In early 2024, Angela Collins was released. She now lives in a group home outside Tucson. Volunteers at a women's shelter. Attends church. Doesn't lie. She tells people her name is Angela. She doesn't try to be anyone else anymore. Her story isn't just about crime. It's about trauma, identity, and the desperate human need to disappear when you feel unworthy of being seen. Angela faked her death twice. But it was her choice to live, truthfully, painfully, and fully, that finally brought her back to life. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental illness, trauma, or suicidal thoughts, please reach out. Help is available. You are not alone. If you found this exploration insightful, subscribe to Untold Truth for more deep dives into the hidden stories shaping our world. Share your thoughts on the woman who faked her death in the comments below.